We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out.
Our guest on the show, newly signed quarterback for the Leipzig Kings, just coming off a championship for the Flash over there in France, Mr. Conor Miller. Conor, what's going on, brother? How you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I know you guys are on the bye week, obviously coming off a tough loss last week. What are you doing? What are you doing on the bye week right now, man?
So I'm in Vienna right now with a couple teammates. We're kind of enjoying the bye week. For me, it's been a long time coming for these guys too, because I believe they played 7 games in a row, back to back. And so, guys are beat up, guys are fatigued. And, myself coming off just a full 15-game season in France, it's nice to be able to kind of get away for a little bit. And
yeah, it's been nonstop for you.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it's nice that we're out here in Vienna, enjoy hanging out by the Danube, and we're going to go watch some Vikings Raiders this weekend. So it's a cool little weekend, man. Nice little getaway.
Well, you guys are definitely in for a treat, because that's gonna be a blast to watch. But hey, ELF All-Star last year, French champion for the Flash. Now, recently you signed and you joined the Kings. So my question for you is, what's the biggest difference between the ELF and the French League?
I found out, I think, the third play last week in Kyle Kitchens. That was kind of my welcome to the ELF moment. Going against Berlin's defense, obviously, Kyle, Stanley, those guys. 53 is a great player, and we definitely didn't see anything like that in France. Just kind of the size and the speed of those guys, and really solid in the back end too. But just kind of speaking from what I've seen in practice, our defense in Leipzig, going against guys like AJ Wentland, Mike Tavares, Dion Henry, there's just ballers everywhere. And playing in France, it was the Flash, Tonon Black Panthers, who we played 4 times, and then Marseille Blue Stars, who we did not play this year. But those are the 3 teams that really have kind of not the whole team, obviously, guys who could play in the ELF, but might have 4 or 5 guys who could play in the ELF, and kind of making that jump from the French league to going right into playing against Berlin last week. It was definitely a faster game, and definitely an adjustment for me.
Well, definitely, and comes someone who just won a championship, jumping right into the mix again. It's been nonstop for you. What's the journey been like? Like, obviously, you're coming off 15-game season. You're coming into another league where you're gonna play another 7 games at least. What's the journey been like, so far?
So I got to France on January 3rd. Came straight to France from vacation back in my home in Florida, and so ever since January 3rd, I've been there practicing every week. We've had a couple bye weeks in France, but that was a long season. You know how they say, like, sometimes, like, man, the season flies by and it feels like it just started. Nah, that one took forever. We're in 15 games. 15 games was a lot. I wasn't playing every game. I think I played 13, and then I was playing really mostly just first halves in a lot of the games. But that was a lot. And my girlfriend's a volleyball player. She's playing for the Austrian national team right now. So she had her last week off of the year last week. So I'm like, all right, babe, like, look, we're going to go to the championship down in Tonon. We're going to win the championship, and then we'll fly to like Greece or something for your off week. We'll take a vacation. And then Coach Armstrong called me, and everything worked out with the Kings. And
he said, "Come vacation in Leipzig. Come vacation in Leipzig."
You're like, Greece? Well, how about Leipzig, Germany? But she was a great sport about the whole thing, and she was really with me. And it was really cool, kind of getting to Leipzig last week. Not a ton of sleep by the time I got there, but Coach Booker, Coach Mattioli, all my teammates, they really made the transition easy. And for me, it was just about kind of learning the playbook and putting in the hours, studying film. For me, it was last week. Berlin was very simple defensively. They just played 2-man the whole game because I mean, when you got those 4 up front, you don't really need to bring much pressure. And
you just let those boys eat and take care of the back end.
Exactly.
Basically what they tried. That's what they tried to. Not what they tried. That's what they did against Cologne too.
Yeah, I mean, when you like I said, when you got nobody in this league's blocking Kyle Kitchens 1-on-1.
Yeah,
and really, you say you got 5-on-5 in the box. Kyle Kitchens, it's not really a 5-on-5. Kyle's like a 1.5, maybe a 2. Stanley's a beast. You can't, you don't really feel too comfortable leaving him singled on anyone. Yeah. And then their backers are really good at, read and run pass, filling the gaps and making plays. So, it's a great defense, but schematically, I mean, I had a conversation with Ludwig, their Mike linebacker after the game.
Swedish guy.
Yeah, exactly. He gave me a couple good licks, but I was just saying, I was like, man, like you guys really just played 2-man the whole game. He's like, yeah, we do, and that's what we're gonna do. And when, like I said, when you've got guys like that, you can.
Most definitely. So last week, as we're talking about it, literally French championship right into the mix, but you had a pretty good game against Ireland, 29 for 39 with 3 touchdowns, 254 yards. And we saw the connection you and Shantavius Jones have, obviously connecting with him for those 3 touchdowns. But even back, to the All-Star game, you guys connected on the touchdown as well. First, what's it like, or let me rephrase this, how much pressure is it for someone like you to come in, step in right away, and try to be a difference maker for a team that's, that was vying for a playoff hunt? Obviously, you got with 5 losses, it's going to be a little hard now. But what's the pressure like for you to try to come in and be a difference maker for the Kings?
I'd say when I was younger, I would have really put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when I came to Cologne in 2019, fresh out of college, I put it all on my shoulders. Like, I gotta do everything. I gotta do this. I really put it all on myself. And I would say coming into Leipzig, it was more about, just playing football. Just be yourself, read the reads. I know Coach Booker is going to put us in a place to make plays. And I didn't feel too much pressure. I think that just comes with playing the game with, this is my 3rd year in Europe now. Just coming in, doing what I do. And like you referenced, having Shantavius Jones stretch out there, man, just put it up. Just put it up anywhere near him. And
what's the Joe Burrow gift? What's the Joe Burrow gift? Like fuck it, Jamar's down there somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with Shantavius. Hey, Stretch is down there somewhere.
Hey, exactly. And I think you saw kind of on that 4th down play, I just threw him a slant and he did the rest, man. This is a guy who's 6'5" and runs. He can run with anybody. Yeah. And a lot of fun having him. And I think he was telling me last time the Raiders played him, they were playing like a gunner on punt, just putting 2 guys right in the face. I mean, same thing. So, having Anthony Dobley-Wolf, who's huge, 4 gloves. Yeah. Jalai he's a young Swedish receiver, just came back off injuries. And then we've got some really good local players too. My job is really just get those guys the ball and let them do the best because they're playmakers for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you guys literally probably have, the tallest trio of wide receivers in the league. That
right.
And it makes it easy for a quarterback. You just got to throw it in the vicinity and let them do the work.
Exactly.
So and when we speak about Shantavius, literally even last year watching him, like there's nobody in the league that's going to win a 50-50 jump ball more than Shantavius. And
it's crazy.
His radius is wild. Dobley Wolf's the same thing too. So being able to have 2 of those guys could make life easy for a quarterback. Just get it somewhere in the vicinity for those guys. Last question before we wrap this up, brother. Obviously, for the Kings, 5 losses is going to be playoffs are going to be hard. Crazy thing has happened, but playoffs are going to be hard, at least at this point in the season.
Realistically, yeah.
Yeah. For you and the team, what's the goal this second half of the season?
It's just, to go 1-0 every week. And that's all we can control. That's all we can control right now is we have to win our preparation. We have to treat practice like a game. And it's about building the culture. This is a very new organization. It's not like the Vikings or the Raiders where, these teams have been around and have success for decades. Kings, this is the second year of existence. So it's really about building the culture for the rest of the season. And I think the imports here and the German guy have done a great job of setting the expectation where, hey, man, the schedule doesn't matter. We'd have to go 1-0 every week. A guy like Mike Tavares, he made a good point. He was in Barcelona last season, and obviously they didn't have the season they wanted to have, but they came on strong at the end. And he said they really set a good foundation. And obviously this year, they're playing arguably the best football of anyone in the league besides Vienna.
Yeah.
And, just kind of doing that. And I've spent some time with obviously Coach Armstrong this weekend, Coach Booker, and ownership, Mark and Moritz. And I think everyone is aligned on the same page and has the same vision for the Kings. And, like you said, playoffs are realistically almost out of the question. There's a chance, never say never.
Crazy thing has happened, yeah.
Yeah, but we're realistic at the same time. I have not seen any drop off in focus. This week guys are getting away but next week we'll come back and we'll be ready to work, and we're getting ready to face arguably the best team in the league, the Raiders. I know we don't know what's going to happen this weekend, but I think it's safe to say they're playing as well as anybody right now. So, we have to have a great week of preparation to be able to hang around in that game because that team's really, 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 really good.
Yeah, they've been hot. I mean, started the season slow, but Sean Shelton's been playing well. That defense is playing well. They just run back. The Raiders are starting to come around and look like the Raiders everyone thought they were going to be earlier in the season. But that's what's going to make this game versus the Vikings so fascinating, to watch. Because not only is it a rivalry, but you got one team coming off a big win against Barcelona, and you got another team that's just been winning, the past 3-4 weeks, and now they're going to clash in Vienna. So. Hey man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. I mean, it was good to talk to you. I want you to enjoy your bye week, enjoy the time out, with the fellas. Enjoy that game because that's definitely gonna be a good game. And like I tell everyone, and I mean it too. This is definitely gonna be the last time we chop it up, my friend.
For sure, I really appreciate you having me, man. Really appreciate everything you do for European football.
Appreciate you, brother. Take care.
Nobody. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Animal.